Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jason here, coming to you live again from my little studio. Today I'm going to demonstrate and run through 4 different lenses with you. Right now I'm putting on the Canon EFS 55 to 250mm. This is a huge telephoto or zoom lens, super zoom lens. Its aperture can go from 4 to 5.6. It has image stabilization built in and it's on the STM motor. I bought this lens second-hand at KL DSLR at only 450. It is a EFS lens, meaning that it is a crop sensor lens. And to connect it to my M50, I'm using a Viltrox converter, not the speed booster, but just purely the converter, meaning that there is no lens attached to the converter. Therefore, there is no speed booster, there is no extra stop of light, and there is no 1.6 crop factor additional increase. So this is how the zoom lens looks like at 55mm. So and as you can see, it's a very narrow view already. If I zoom it in even closer, I'll just show it to you what happened if I zoom it in even closer. So I'm going all the way to 250. Now, if I zoom all the way to 250mm, all you can probably see is my mouth talking. Okay, there, much better. So at 55mm, what you can see is a very nice, not very nice, but a relatively nice blurred background because the subject is very close to the camera. I'm about 4 feet away from the camera lens, and I have to go further back in order for my face to be in view of the camera. Usually when I talk to the camera, I'm sitting this close. So this is how the 55 to 250mm looks like. In terms of aperture settings, I am at f4.0, shutter speed 1/60, and ISO 1250. Right, these are manual settings, and hopefully you get to see the difference when I change to the other lenses. Okay, without further ado, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is our dearly beloved kit lens for the M50. This is the EFM 15 to 45mm. Right now I am at the smallest focal length at 15mm. As you can see, I am just 1 foot away from the camera lens, and the focal length is so wide. The view is so wide, I have to lean into the camera, and this is totally opposite from the previous 55 to 250mm lens. So this kit lens is a great kit lens. It can be zoomed in all the way to 55mm, which I will show you right now. So if I zoom in all the way to 45, so now I have to kind of lean back a little bit, and I have to increase the ISO slightly in order to compensate for the smaller aperture. This is the 45mm range, and now I have to sit back a bit, kind of similar to the 55mm EFS lens that I tested just now. Once I'm at the 45mm focal length, I have to increase the ISO. Now I'm running at ISO 2000 in order to get sufficient light into this lens. The aperture has closed slightly, and therefore the ISO has to be increased to compensate for the smaller aperture. So this is how it looks like. You don't get that beautiful blurry background as much as the super zoom lens just now, but it is a very decent workhorse lens, right? The 15 to 45mm. Yeah, don't throw it away. Don't trade it in for a better lens. Don't trade it in for a prime lens. But keep it. Personally, I would keep it in my bag because most of event photography works out with the focal length of 15 to 45mm. Yeah. So the next lens that we're going to try out is the EFM 22mm. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the EFM 22mm lens at f2 STM lens. Wonderful pancake lens. I brought the aperture down to f2.0. Shutter speed has remained the same throughout this entire video at 1/60, and I can run ISO at 200, right? This has got a beautiful large aperture, and because of that it captures in all the wonderful light, and therefore I don't need to have additional bump up the ISO to be so high. So I'm just going to do a little experiment to turn off my side light over here and see how it looks. Yeah. So even though with just one ring light on my left side, it sufficiently covers enough light from just my left side in order to record this video. And that is because of the wonderful large aperture of the EF-M 22mm lens. I love this lens so much. Okay, I'm just going to turn the light back on because this is not a sleepy video. Yeah, so even at 200 ISO, I think it's a little bit bright. I can turn it down a little bit more if I want to, but this is just a simple test of the Pancake 22mm lens. Yeah, let's move on to the final lens, which is my current favorite lens. Here goes. Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is the wonderful Sigma 16mm f1.4, and it is a super wide angle lens, and the beauty about this lens is the amazing aperture, as large as f1.4, and I can't run 1.4 because there's just too much light coming into the sensor. Even right now I'm running at ISO 200, and shutter speed remains at 1/60 and aperture at 2.0, and it's amazing. We're just going to turn off the side light again so you can compare with the Pancake lens. So this is how it looks like with just the LED ring light on my left, and I think it looks gorgeous. It's very nice. It has got a very nice dramatic effect, and yeah, I'm totally in love with this Sigma lens. It is a prime lens. The distortion over at the far ends are not that prominent, and I just love the clarity, the sharpness, and everything about this lens. It is my current favorite. I'm going to be sticking this lens on the M50 as much as possible. Well, enough of me raving about the lens. Thank you guys for watching, and hope this video helps to give you an idea about what kind of lenses that you can use for what kind of applications. In a nutshell, telephoto zoom lens, it's great for long distance stuff, but you have to sacrifice the aperture unless you buy a really expensive one. Number two, it's also best used on a tripod. Secondly, the kit lens is lovely for most, I would say 60 to 70% of photography and videography work. But if you need one more or two more additional stops of light, go for the Pancake lens, which is the third lens that I reviewed. And lastly, if you want a superb lens for vlogging, for close-up video shoots, for wide-angle applications, especially in low light, go for the Sigma. So thank you for watching, take care, and goodbye.